Can frugal living be simple, practical, even fun? Yes! Here are 37 things we did this week to save money without feeling deprived.
If you don't know us, I'm Larry.
I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where practical frugality meets real life.
This last week, we challenged ourselves to notice every single frugal habit, frugal step we were taking to save money. We made a list of them. There are 37 things that we did. Let's get started.
The first thing we did was we picked up our final CSA basket. This is a basket that we paid for at the beginning of the season, and we get one every week. This amounts to a lot of groceries that last us basically all week.
While we were at the farmer's market, we checked out cheap butternut squash. And I do mean cheap butternut squash. It was
And
$3.
large,
$3.
Big butternut squash.
I'm gonna hold it up.
That is huge. Isn't that unbelievable?
One butternut squash.
Those taste so good cooked in the oven.
$3. Then, while we were also at the farmer's market, we spied cabbage for $3 a head. And then there were also some little purple cabbages. Now we got one of each because next frugal thing we did, we were attending a get together with friends that night, and we knew that we were going to take a cabbage salad. Now the get together was a hot dog roast, but we do not eat hot dogs. So we decided to do a frugal thing instead. I made carrot dogs.
I'm going to cook these carrot dogs before we go to the party because of the nature of carrots, they are not going to go on a hot dog spit very well and be cooked over a fire. You can do them on a grill if you want. You can do them in the oven. I've also done them in the oven. But in this case, I am going to dump them all into a pan, and I'm just going to cook them. If it starts to run out of that liquid, I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid to the pan and cook them up just like you would a hot dog. By the way, this was a reused plastic bag. So that's another frugal thing that we did was I used a plastic bag, didn't use it for anything yucky, so I just washed it up and reused it.
Hey, did you catch that extra frugal tip in there? We washed and reused our freezer bags. One-use bags in this house? I don't think so. And we're even going to count the get-together as a frugal thing that we did. Getting together with friends does not have to mean spending a lot of money. No, we had a lot, and I do mean a lot of food at that party. There was even a hay rack ride. Quick tip before we go any further. If one of your goals right now is to reduce your expenses, I have a free guide for you. It's 10 ways that we radically reduced our expenses while we were saving for great big goals on a low income. I walk you step by step through it. There's checklists. It's free. There'll be a link in the video description. But in and of itself, that counts as like a frugal tip for you this week.
Another thing that I did, which didn't cost any extra money, was that I rode my e-bike for 20 miles each ride 5 different times. So that was 100 miles that I put on the e-bike to get some outside exercise. Really good to get some fresh air.
And while Larry was riding his bike, I was walking. No, I did not walk 100 miles. But I walked 2 to 3 miles every day during the week while he was riding his bike. Taking care of our health has become super important to us as we get older. I notice that when I exercise, my mood improves. I sleep much better. There are so many great things about exercising and what it does for your body and for your mental and physical strength, which is exactly why when we were approached by Midi Health and they asked to sponsor this video, we said yes in all capital letters. Midi Health is midlife health for women by women. As we get older, it's easier to gain weight, but it's a whole lot harder to take it off. And that weight settles in areas that it has never settled before. And all of a sudden, our skin is dry, our hair feels different, we have mood swings, and we have difficulty with sleeping. But the worst thing in the world is to sit at home wondering, is this normal and is there something wrong with me? Midi Health is a virtual care clinic that truly hears, sees, and understands women. They understand hormonal fluctuations, whether that's due to menopause, perimenopause, or stress, and those unexplained things that happen that just leave our body feeling kind of off. They offer several types of visits from perimenopause, menopause, sleep, mood, memory, skin, and more. Midi's clinicians truly listen and they build a plan based around you and your needs, because healthcare is not one size fits all. No memberships, no hidden fees, and Midi bills insurance just like any other provider. Super duper easy to get an appointment. You're going to check your insurance, tell them your symptoms, and then you just book your first appointment. Their clinicians can order tests, review the results, and then adjust your plan according to those results. And when appropriate, they can prescribe medication for hormonal or non-hormonal weight loss. And they can even partner with your doctors when needed. Over 90% of women report relief from their major symptoms within a few months. And that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because you have a team that listens. Take the next steps. Join over 200,000 women who already love and trust Midi. Use our special link. It's trymidi.com/under the median, because aging well doesn't have to mean doing it alone. That link will also be at the top of the video description.
This next tip might seem kind of small, but when we did this, our gas usage dropped by 20%. Yep. And that's to plan your routes before you drive. Let's say you have 5 different places to go to. Make sure that place 1, 2, and 3 are right in line with each other on your route, so that you're going the smallest amount of travel between each destination. That will save you a lot of money. It'll also save you time.
You know, the other reason this changed for us and dropped our usage so much, because when we started planning our route, we realized how many times we were leaving the house every week for just a little extra errand. So we started batching the errands as well as planning the travel route. And so try it, because that really helped us to drop the amount of gas we were driving through every single month.
Another thing we did was we shopped at Hy-Vee's 3-day sale. This was a great sale. What did they have on sale, Hope?
Potatoes!
Yes!
Listen to this price. $1.47 for 5 pounds.
That's a lot of potatoes for that amount of money.
After great discussion and wrangling back and forth as to whether we should get 3 bags or 4, we bought 4 bags. Here's why. Potatoes, when they are stored properly, will last for a really long time. Yeah. And potatoes also incredibly versatile. Now that brings us to our next tip. This is something we kind of did along with the potatoes, was the fact that we began to plan how to use those potatoes in a lot of different ways, because you want to use those main ingredients that you get at a really super low price. But you don't want your family to feel like every single night all they're eating is potatoes. So when that main ingredient is versatile and you can serve it in a number of different ways, then that, to me, increases the value of purchasing that product.
After we were done at Hy-Vee, we went across the street and went to Kroger. And Kroger had some really good markdowns. We found bunches of bananas, really cheap. And these were perfectly ripe bananas. They weren't overripe. They just tasted so good right out of the peel. And we really enjoyed getting that. I also found some 50-cent payday candy bars that I take with me on my bike rides. 50 cents. Normally they're $1.90. So that was a really good reduction in price.
The next thing we did was sign up when we got back home for a free event at our library. We can't say enough good about libraries. Mm-hmm. The name of this event is Understanding Medicare. And I told Larry, I said, I signed up for this event. Now, it's called Understanding Medicare, and I really believe in my heart of hearts that those 2 words together in any one sentence provide an oxymoron.
Yes,
but
they do.
We're going to go, and we're going to do our best to glean information and see if we can understand a little bit better Medicare.
I want to go back to the grocery stores just for 1 minute. Before we actually go into a grocery store, we might take a little time to look at their ad if we haven't looked at it already, and go through and see if there's anything on sale right now that we could pick up for our week's menu. And by doing this, we save a lot of money on our menu planning by buying things that are already on sale.
And Larry just mentioned the next one, menu planning. When you get those main ingredients, when you get them on sale, you're going to make sure that you plan a menu around what you already have in the house.
Yes. Hope really likes this one. I got to admit, I'm not as excited, but it is something that we have to do. What did you do, Hope?
I totaled the last month's expenses. October was done. We totaled October's expenses and saw whether we had followed through with our intentions as to what our October goals were and whether we stuck to our budget. And then we used all that information to plan November's budget. I like numbers. Anybody else with me?
I like numbers as long as they're good numbers. When we've really overspent, though, and I get this bad news thing, and what are we going to do now? That I don't like, but these were good numbers.
Next thing we did, we line dried clothes. We very rarely turn on our dryer.
Hardly ever.
Drying clothes outside, it just really doesn't take that long to hang them up. In the middle of the winter, when it's too cold, do it outside. We have lines inside in our utility room that we use to dry clothes.
We put flannel sheets on our bed to keep warm. Hope just did this yesterday. And I love flannel sheets because not only are they warm, they're also more comfortable. We sleep a lot better. We keep our house pretty cool at night. We actually drop the thermostat down to 60 degrees to sleep in. But this keeps us toasty warm.
Speaking of toasty warm, you want to keep your extremities warm. So, to keep my feet warm, I wear my thick socks and also my fuzzy slippers with my socks.
I think she looks cute in her fuzzy
Thank you.
slippers.
Thank you very much. We cook dried beans instead of using beans from the can. Now, here's the tip. So we cook beans in the Instant Pot. And when we cook the beans, we cook 2 pounds of beans. And I know that seems like a lot because 2 pounds of beans is about 5 cups dried. And when you cook it up, it's going to be about 12 cups cooked. We plan, when we plan our menu plan, we plan ways we're going to use those beans, but you can always just put them in a container and stick them in the freezer and make sure you label and date them, and you can use them for later use. But the Instant Pot does not use a lot of energy. Once it gets up to temperature, it only clicks on that thermostat every once in a while to keep it up to temperature, to cook it under pressure. And so ultimately, you're really saving money by bulk cooking those beans at the same time.
In relation to food, we did a perishable food inventory. This is where you go through and any of your perishable items, which only last so long in your refrigerator, you can account for them, see how they're doing, how much time they have left. You don't want to throw things out. So this prevents us from throwing food out that we should have used earlier at an earlier time. So the perishable food inventory, very important to us.
And the perishable food inventory is what, everybody? It is prioritized. And that means that the items with the shortest shelf life go all the way at the top of that list. So it reminds you, oh, I got lettuce. It's looking a little wilty. We need to use that. When you see it at the top of the list, it prioritizes it in your mind. And when you make a menu plan based off of that perishable food inventory, you make sure that you use things in the order that they're going to perish. So you throw away far less.
We also went to the Amish store. Now, we do this twice a year. We'll buy bulk food and we'll buy some other items that they have on sale in this store. But the 2 bulk food items we bought this time were 50 pounds of oats. These are oats that we make oatmeal out of, and we have cooked cereal every morning. We also bought 25 pounds of lentils because lentils are just a great bean to have that we can make different things, all kinds of different recipes out of that.
Now, while we were there, the bulk food store is also a salvage food store.
Yes.
We bought a whole boatload of salvage food and we paid just under $40 for all of it. The winner of the entire salvage food process was some yogurt, some Greek yogurt we got for our kids, 92% less than the shelf price at the average grocery store, and the sell-by date was not until 7 weeks after we purchased it.
We left our thermostat off until yesterday. Now, yesterday on the date was November the 10th, but it got down to 26 degrees outside, and the inside of the house was 51 degrees when we got up that morning. Now, I run a kerosene heater to take the chill off the living room when we're sitting in there and eating our breakfast, but we finally decided it's now time to turn it on because it's going to stay cold all week. Our utility company notified us that they're raising the gas rates this winter. Oh, how exciting. Isn't that wonderful news?
I'm just glad they told us before they did it. That's the only thing that makes me happy.
What they didn't tell us was how much they're raising it. So Hope did some research on how to save a little bit on the gas.
Oh, my friends, the first thing that you do when you find out that you know a bill is going to go up is you start clicking into research mode. I contacted a friend of mine at Citizens Utility Board. Citizens Utility Board is a watchdog group in the state of Illinois. They have a totally free PDF that you can download. It's a little booklet that tells you exactly what to look at for your electric and natural gas usage and how you can drop both of those. Doing research and figuring out what habits you can change that will impact that bill at the end of the month, super important.
We made coffee at home. Now, making coffee at home is so much cheaper than going out to any coffee store like Starbucks and buying their coffee. It's much cheaper, it's fresh, and you can even make premium coffee if you want to. We buy pretty good coffee. We don't buy cheap coffee that we're making at home. And I also put it in a thermos, so that coffee stays hot all day. Even by late afternoon, if I went on second cup, that coffee is still piping hot. So we don't have to put it in the microwave, add more power, and warm it up. We watch movies, mostly movies that are from our own archives or from Tubi TV, which are free. Now, the thing about Tubi is you do have to watch through a lot of ads. I always turn the audio off when the ads are on, and then we might do something, get something to eat, get up, and then sit back down when the movie starts up again. But there's also a free app on your library site that we found out about because one of our movies was defective and it wouldn't play all the way to the end. And here we were invested in the story, and the last 20 minutes were just boop. What?
The whodunit.
Yeah.
We didn't know. And so we had gotten this DVD because our very favorite used bookstore had a notification on Facebook that said, we're cleaning out our DVDs. They're all out front, and there were hundreds of them.
Hundreds of DVDs.
Come take what you want. So we went over there in good frugal fashion and took about 30 movies and brought them home. And this one got stuck. And I said, Larry, the library. Isn't that the answer to all things in life? The library. And I said, I'll bet they have the movie. So sure enough, they did. And I said, we can borrow it. It's going to take like 3 days to get here to find out the end. I go, wait a minute. Canopy, Kanopy. Check to see if your library offers this service. It's a free streaming service. It had the movie. We borrowed it from Canopy and immediately had the instant gratification 20 minutes later of going, we didn't see that coming. We didn't think that was the guy that did it. So there you go.
The same bookstore that was giving away the DVDs also gives away books that they decide they don't want to sell. And we'll stop by every so often and pick up a selection of books that we'll read here at home for free. Hope has a whole bunch of books over here, including this one, which was really related.
So perfect.
Related to exactly what she was working on.
How to cut your utility bill in half. I'm like, what? It's like, this is fantastic. So I grabbed that one. This one, I'm going to show you this one. This is Baby Blessings. This is a nice little hardback book, Gentle Words of Faith to Encourage Mothers of Newborns. I got this one because this is another frugal tip. I am going to give this to my daughter-in-law for Christmas because they just had a new baby. Now, this is the time of the year we start thinking about Christmas. We look at our gift stash and we start filling in the holes.
Yes.
Who do we still need to buy for? Where can we source low-price gifts for that person? Here's another one that we really need, decluttering at the speed of life.
The next tip is when you get a set of sponges in, cut them in half. They'll actually last twice as long and they're easier to use. We use these when we're washing dishes. This is what we use to get any residue off that happens to be stuck on a plate or on a bowl. They clean really well. Excellent use of your sponges.
This next one we really like to do too. We use task lighting, especially in the evenings. So we don't light the entire room. We light the area where we're sitting. Larry has a special lamp. 3 watts is all it uses, and he uses it when he reads in the evenings.
We're very careful with how we wash our clothes. We use the washer on the cold setting. That way we're not using the hot water heater, which uses gas. And then we're very careful on how much we limit the soap, the laundry soap that we put in. We don't put in as much as the makers say you should, because you don't need that much soap to wash a load of clothes.
And speaking of things that run up your electric bill, next tip is that you need to be tracking your daily uses of electricity. We have a little form that we fill out that when we plug something in and use it, now not a light bulb, but anything that is like an appliance, we write down when we used it, how long we used it, and then we figure out how much energy that is costing us to use so that we can change our habits to change the bill. But I was reminded of that when Larry said the hot water heater, because the hot water heater, believe it or not, is the number 3 thing that's going to cost you in your energy bill. Heating, cooling, hot water.
In fact, don't they say that drying clothes with a dryer costs you more money than any other appliance?
I just read an article on it. Using your electric or gas dryer costs you a whole lot more than you think it does.
We stayed at home for entertainment instead of going out and spending money. As we mentioned, we watch a lot of free movies. Those are nice. We enjoy them. We enjoy each other's company while we're watching them. The other thing that we can do is, as Hope mentioned, also we read books at night. We might play games, puzzles, all kinds of things you can do without spending extra money on your entertainment.
But when we do spend money, we do the next thing that we did in the last week, and that is we uploaded our receipts to Fetch. Fetch is a free app. If you don't have it, we'll make sure we leave a link to it in the video description. Fetch allows you to upload receipts. You receive points for every receipt that you upload. You accrue those points, and then you redeem those points for gift cards, and we use all of our gift cards for Christmas gifts. So we pay virtually nothing to purchase gifts for Christmas.
Thrift store shopping is a great way to save money where you might purchase that item brand new. Dan went to the thrift store and found something he can hang up on his wall for 50% off of what they had it marked.
Just went to the thrift store, got this for 50% off, so it cost me $3.25.
So there's a lot of ways you can save money at your local thrift store.
This next one is super duper fun. Day after Halloween, on November 1st, we head to Hy-Vee because we were going there anyway, and they had big tubs sitting out front that said free pumpkins. So we were able to score 2 free pumpkins from Hy-Vee.
We like to use digital coupons when we go out. Now, Kroger has an app that you can download on your phone, and you can access the digital coupons while you're at the store.
Your store app. A lot of times in the store app, if you forget to add a digital coupon at home, you can open the app and add it to your shopper card right in the store using the store app. You can also check the price of various items. If it seems a little dubious to you exactly what you're going to be charged for that item on your way out the door, just scan the UPC code and it's going to show you exactly what it's going to charge you. This next one is overarching, but it is so important. We embraced simplicity. The problem with Americans in general is that we believe to have fun and to live life, one must be spending money. Simplicity has become our best friend, and we are very, very happy to do very simple things and enjoy life without feeling like we have to head out or push a button to spend some money.
If you need more ideas, we have a lot more to share.
Here are everyday hacks that save frugal people thousands of dollars. Watch it next. Let's get started. I wasn't sure who was going. Are you going or am I going?
I wasn't sure. I could take it.
Wait, let's take a deep breath.